I got my I got my moral support squid along with my main characters and future main characters. Absolute mess from micro battleships, robots. I still have the pizza truck, which was actually very detailed, and I worked on it for a very long time, but it got like such minimum screen time. Yeah. Let's see. I got a string of Christmas lights. Just little ones, and then I have colored lights down there somewhere. Like a power functions light. Random backdrop for a future patch and stripes. Maybe. Classic pirate. The true star of THAC. Dum 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 dum. Let's see. Here we have the miniature model I used for things. Sneak around my cable. Okay. Currently it's set up for the penguin thing, because that's what I did last. But yeah, so there's most of the carnage and some clay. Yeah, that was pretty lit. It was probably my weirdest. There's also my lamps. I only have the two. And yeah, this one's really like a harsh natural light. I usually turn this off. And I have this, which is just really red because I have the tissue paper. Either way, they're both too bright and also very harsh and unnatural. I had a flashlight for some of the stained glass window. Onto THAC, which is what this is actually supposed to be. Start small here. The training montage, or where he's like arming himself. I have this, which is just a hallway I made in like 2 seconds. Yeah, I'd kind of built the bottom part before, but then I just built the wall on top of it. While I'm here, this is my like rig. It moves ridiculously slowly and is prone to break, so I should probably reinforce it eventually. Aforementioned Christmas lights down there in the rubble that is my room. Got my black blue snowball. Future space set deconstruction. Other future space set. I'm working on a lot of space things. Here's Undershadow's room, which also used to be a space thing. Where is it? Okay. There we go, the main event. And here we have the monastery with the monk of Vow of Silence still there. But anyway, I just had some plates on top to give it better lighting. This was to mount the flashlight on top. Okay, so the stained glass window was incredibly fun to make. I've been wanting to make one of those for a very long time. And then I just kind of built the Holy Grail mount. Luckily the colors were yellow and red, so I just added the red stud underneath it. Yeah. I actually had a problem because I ran out of 6 long arches, so I had to change my design. Yeah. And there's just a door on the other side. The window actually comes out. I never did find a use for that, but it comes out. And that side's fully complete too. The doorway I had built for something else, and I just kind of stole it. I built this whole set before THAC because I was smart, unlike the rest of you who went slowly insane, and I watched you, and it was hilarious. I also have this lovely backdrop of, this is where the dragon was, and I figured I could just, like, miniature it in the background, and it turned out very nicely, I think. It was kind of like these pine tree looking things and like a broken monastery wall, like a gate. The hills were the hardest part because I kept running out of green pieces, but other than that it was pretty fine. That about does it for THAC things. I mean, I have character designs. I have all the monks, including the space monk, who I did actually model after the main character from Solo Luna. Thanks, Real Force, I guess. But I just now discovered that the helmet works upside down, so I'm going to be incorporating that into something else later. That over there, the little yellow thing, is the set from the pizza shop. And the set for Patch and Stripes 2 is up there. It's got George Washington's bust, which I built as a school project a while ago. The landing pad under the Viking helmet is from Space Invaders. I did this really cool thing where I took a tennis ball display case from like Hobby Lobby and built a mini diorama inside of it. It was like $4 and I wanted to do it. So that was kind of cool. I used like pretty much all the old classic space pieces I had. I have a ton of classic space minifigs though. I'm way fortunate. I still don't have a black one though. So back to kind of like THAC-y things, since this is a THACumentary made post THAC. My original script actually had a lot of different things in it that I ended up cutting, but it ended up fine. Just like a lot of cheap dialogue. But it was pretty cool to begin with, and I wrote it the day before, pretty much. Like I did everything else. Once again, watching you guys go insane is just the most fun I can have on a THAC day. So, yeah. Yeah, so one of the biggest changes was at the beginning. Most of it was just like cheesy monk jokes. I literally Googled monk jokes and picked out the best ones the day before. Once again, the day before, so I could watch you all go insane. The best kind of sport there is. They were pretty bad. So I basically cut from like the Holy Grail all the way through the monk jokes onto the second page, and then like all the way down to here. What other kind of monks are there? And there's just this big montage. The Vow of Silence guy is pretty much the same, except I tweaked it so that Willard the monk was trying to interpret and he couldn't do it. I figured during THAC, it would just be funnier if he just interpreted it right immediately in like a monotone voice. Actually, it wasn't monotone. I recorded it after I recorded most of the lines, and it turned out to be a little different. So, meh. But, But, yeah. So, he was going to say, he's either warning us that the toaster is clogged, and then Alfred, which is the monk who doesn't speak, but we don't know his name in the real thing, I guess. He like shakes his head no, and then Dennis says, "I don't think that's it." And Willard's like, "Yeah, me neither. Either that or a dragon has come and all is lost." And then Alfred nods furiously. And so then Dennis the peasant eyes the fire and the screaming monks in the background with a special note there for Wilhelm scream. And the camera gets like extremely close up on the monk, who's being really melodramatic and epic. And so it begins. And then I have a huge typo. Yeah. There's this little just dialogue-y bits. I really hate doing dialogue. I know some of you hate doing walk cycles, but dialogue is worse for me. And there's this whole like kind of subplot where like Willard, the monk, is trying to like convert the dragon or like convince him to not attack. But Dennis just wants to kill it, or just thinks that Willard's gonna get roasted. The idea for the Dennis, the peasant, arming himself while the monk is like drinking tea with the dragon. The idea was to have like opposite music too, but that didn't become a thing. It just kind of edited better that way. And at the end, they were going to have the dialogue about, you know, peaceful or non-peaceful, and then Dennis was just going to kind of sit down. Like, I give up. And Willard was going to be like, talk about the wood allergy, and then Dennis was going to look at the spear. And then I have it, like, exactly here. Light bulb moment again, and then Dies Irae starts. The dragon was supposed to say the Obi-Wan voice. I didn't realize that that wasn't Qui-Gon until after I wrote this and emailed people about it. Or the person I was doing the dragon voice for. But the negotiations were short, Qui-Gon. And that was pretty funny in my head. And then Dennis yeets the spear. And the dragon was supposed to say, "Dang it." But I got rid of that too. Because, you know. And the idea was that he just kind of sputtered out and died instantly. I was thinking kind of like a Minecraft animal, where it just like dies by like falling on its side. And that's pretty much what I got in the end thing. So yeah, that was the original script, and that is my knee, and I have super bad sitting habits. So yeah, welcome to like the 15 people who are ever gonna watch this. Lego Universe! Save Lego Universe! Say hello, Squid. Mr. Munchie says hi. If you don't know who Squid is, you need to reevaluate your life.